All right, it's Tuesday, September 23rd, just following up on the SPY. You can see here after buying some puts as this red bar was forming on bar 4, we have worked down to target 1, the pre-market lows here. So let's see what this happens at this inflection point. Options are starting to move up a little bit. Nothing dramatic yet. The 670 puts, I bought at 453. I saw them there at 478. I saw them trade at 480. Well, they were asking 480. And there it is, asking 480. So, starting to move up a little bit. So let's see what happens at this inflection point. I'm willing to, see if this maybe breaks down a little further here, even though we have a long way to go before any true negative, sustainable move unfolds. You can see here on the daily chart, we're just starting after taking out that high the previous day to start working a little lower, way above the midpoint of the prior day. But what's interesting here, I guess, is if you look at all the daily up, action going forward, the weekly charts that have been green, 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 green every single week, the few little red pullbacks that have taken place, generally happen kind of somewhere in the middle of the week. This one here is starting early in the week, so it does have time to kind of, if this wants to break down a little bit, it might be the first weekly bar here that eventually by the end of the week moves red. So, again, I'm not expecting it, but if it's going to happen, at least early in the week is a good time to start from these highs to begin to break down versus somewhere here in the middle of the week or the end of the week. Beginning of the week here, we took out the weekly high of last week, and then on day 2, we are trying to break down a little bit. So we know what has to happen here. We got to get all the way through the midpoint of the prior day. We got to get through the open of the week for anything really negative to happen. But given the exhaustion risk and the opening price action, and at least this was kind of the anticipated move, I'm willing to see if this kind of move here can build a little momentum and hold the stay below the midpoint of this whole consolidation to start the day. That to me would be the sign that, we're just taking out liquidity and starting back up again. And we'll see what happens. So, nothing, no real expectations of a pullback, but I think if you're in a situation here where if it's going to happen, this could be the beginning of it, just given the timing and the exhaustion risk and the time within the week that it's starting to try to turn red a little bit. And at some point, like various moments here, we do get higher highs and a little quick lower lows, and usually that gets bought up. But at some point, you're going to get some kind of red bar in here. So anyway, let's see what happens. Obviously, it's trying to pause here at the pre-market lows. That was a target. That's liquidity. So it's going to be important to watch what price does here. If it doesn't want to really rebound strongly, then I kind of expect another push lower, and there's a little bit of a vacuum in here that could build up a little, some momentum. So let's find out. And again, to me, as long as we hold the midpoint of this first bar, essentially right up here near these pre-market highs and everything else, then at least for today, the bias is down, and we're just going to have to see how negative things might get.